Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in. I hope you're all well wherever you are, whatever you're up to. This week I am bringing you a new fabrics video of all the new things that we've had over the past month or so, sort of 3 or 4 weeks, and loads of them are quite wintry, so I've got loads and loads of wools and you'll kind of see them lined up behind me just there. But first of all, I wanted to tell you what I'm wearing and chat to you about that fabric, because quite often people will ask me what I'm wearing in the videos. So this is a new look pattern, which we don't actually stock because we just have the independent patterns, but it's, you know, it's easy to get new look patterns in other places. And the number of the pattern is 6446, and I have made it using some of our Florenza crepe viscose, and it's got quite a really lovely, nice, slubby texture to it. And this one that you can just see here is the new colorway of it. So this is like a kind of, it's black, but it's not like a really harsh black, and then it's got these lovely sort of corally pinky flowers on it, which is really nice. It's the same fabric. We've had this colorway for a bit longer. It's called Midnight, but it's actually quite a purpley blue sort of color. But yeah, that's what I'm wearing, and that is the pattern that it is as well. I changed the neckline, so if you're looking at that pattern you think it doesn't look the same, I took the panel that goes across the top and sort of ruched it a little bit to give that kind of sweetheart neckline. So yeah, that's that fabric. It's a really, really lovely one. It's got loads of drape, and if I lift this one up to show you, you'll sort of see what I mean. And then, as I was saying before, it's got this lovely kind of slubby texture to it as well, which just creates a bit of sort of interest and difference. So that's that. We've also got another new viscose, which has got a much smoother texture to it, and it has got these really lovely poppies on it. It's just underneath the camera here, that's the right side of it there. So it's really gorgeous and floaty as well, so it's great for blouses or dresses, tops, that kind of thing. Really lovely, that one. And then also in the viscose department, while I'm on there, I've got a few here as well, and we've got some of them come in quite a few different colours. So this one here, which is a really lovely cornflower blue colour, it's called Cornflower Blue Ditzy Florals, and it's viscose as well, but it's got a crinkle effect to it. So the first one that I showed you was a bit more slubby, this one's a bit more crinkly. They're all 100% viscose, it's just the texture is a bit different. So in terms of how they sort of behave and move and drape, they're all kind of the same. They just aesthetically look a little bit different. But yeah, this has got really lovely little sort of dainty flower print on it, and it comes in 3 colorways as well. So we've got a kind of dusky pink one, and then we've got a navy one as well. It is much lighter weight than the other 2 that I just showed you, so if you were making a dress with it, you'd maybe want to line the skirt section unless it was like really gathered or something. But yeah, you can see it's got gorgeous kind of drape and movement. It's really, really nice. And then yeah, it comes in those 3 colorways as well. And then we've got this one here, which is a lovely red color. It's kind of like it's not like a harsh red, it's a really nice kind of red. I feel like in the video here it's coming up a much harsher red than what it is. It's actually quite a soft red, and it's got these lovely little sort of sailboats on it with blue flags, so that's really cute. And it's not really that transparent. It's lightweight, but it's not like when I'm holding my hand up I can't see my hand through it at all, which is good if you're wanting to use it for bottom weights, like, you know, trousers or a jumpsuit or dress, whatever. And then we've got this one here. This comes in 2 colorways as well. So this one's a lovely sort of dusky blue color, and it's got a little sort of dainty flower print on it as well. So this one comes in navy too. So yeah, another nice one. It's not, when I hold my hand up to that one as well, it's not transparent. So yeah, that's also good to know. And then the last viscose one that I've got to show you is this one here. So this is the navy colorway, and then we've also got a black colorway as well, which has got little sort of dusky blue bits on the flowers. So yeah, again, just another nice viscose, good for it's not transparent either. You can see when I hold my hand up, it's you know, it's got a good sort of thickness to it while still kind of maintaining the drape of it. So it would be fine for trousers or jumpsuits or dresses, tops, all of those things too. So it's a nice and versatile one. I might just tidy up some of these fabrics so that they go behind me. I've got a bit more space in front of me then. I've also got some jerseys to show you, and then I'm going to get totally stuck into the wools. I know it only is the 1st of of September and it is still quite mild and warm in quite a few places in the UK, but I have started making a new winter project. I'm making a coat at the moment and I'll show you what fabric I'm using to make that later. So if you are tackling something that's a bit more involved, like a coat or, you know, something that you can really get your teeth into, then now's not a bad time to start thinking about it. I'll show you these jerseys that are just here just now because they're sort of like a little section, and then I can go into all of the wools that are behind me. So I've got a few ones to show you that are all fabrics that are made here in the UK. So they get the fabric gets knitted here and it gets dyed and or printed if that's the case, if it's got a print on it. I don't think I've got any that are made in the UK that are printed here, but yeah, anyway. It all gets done here. It's in Leicester. So I've got two stripy ones to show you first of all. This one here is a navy blue and a white, and it's quite a lightweight, so it's more of a sort of t-shirty weight. You can see here when I hold it up, it moves around quite a lot. So yeah, it's good for like long sleeve tops and t-shirts and that kind of thing. And then we've got one that's like a narrower stripe, so it's navy and white as well. And I feel like in the video here it just looks a bit grey or something, but I'll show you a close up and then you'll be able to see the navy and white of that. And it's the sort of lighter weight as well, so yeah, it's going to be good for t-shirts and tops. And the stripe is knitted into it as well, so yeah, that is that one. And then we've got three ones which are modal. So let me just check. Yeah, it's 95% modal and 5% elastane. So they're really lovely and stretchy and they're really soft. And we've got them in three different colourways. So the one I've got here to show you, it's called Racing Green. So it's a bit like a forest green as well. Sometimes it could, maybe that sort of shade gets called that. It is so soft. If you've not worked with modal before or have heard of it, it's a really, really soft fabric. It's got a beautiful drape and it's also got quite a good weight to it as well. So I think this fabric would be really good for leggings, or I've seen some like jersey jumpsuits that you can make with it, but also like t-shirts and tops and that kind of thing too. So a really versatile fabric, washes really well, and I honestly can't tell you how soft it is. It's really lovely. So yeah, as I said, it comes in this racing green, this shade is called, but then we've also got it in a navy and black too. I'll hold another wee bit up just so that you can see it kind of drape and move around. So that's the modal one, and then so these are made in the UK as well, and then the next ones aren't made in the UK, just so I can make that distinction. And this is like a geometric print one, and it comes in three shades. This one's kind of like a sort of slate grey colour, and then we've also got a navy, and we do have a kind of wine claret sort of maroony colour too, which totally just seemed to just sold out as soon as it came in, but we will be getting more. So if you're having a look at these ones on the website, you see the red one sold out, it will be coming back again. But this is, I've got a feeling this is viscose. Yeah, it's viscose, 96% viscose and 4% lycra. So it's got a really lovely drape to it. It's lightweight, so it's going to be better for tops and t-shirts and that kind of thing. But yeah, it's just a nice one if you want a print and it's not, it's a bit different from something that's florally. So that is all the little jerseys that I've got to show you. So now in terms of the wools, I'm saying wools, which is kind of like a blanket term for just like sort of thicker fabrics. Some of them have wool, some of them don't. No, I think they all do have wool, but there'll be different mixtures of it. So some will be 100%, some will have acrylic with them, some have got cashmere with them. But generally speaking, like the higher the wool content that a fabric has got, the warmer that it will be. So even if you get a fabric that feels quite thick or it feels quite fluffy, if the wool content isn't that high, even though it's quite thick, it still won't be as warm. Whereas you could get 100% wool fabric that actually feels quite thin when you feel it, but because it's got 100% wool, it will be really cozy. So it's always worthwhile trying to get that information if you can. Unfortunately, when we get our wools in, not all of the time the supplier knows the exact percentage, so it might just say that it's a wool mix, in which case we don't know ourselves. We try and find out, but then if our supplier doesn't know, then we just have to sort of say it does have wool, it does have acrylic, or another kind of fibre in it. and then we don't always exactly know. Usually that happens when the supply chain is quite long. So if a fabric is surplus to the garment manufacturing industry, it'll get sold on, and it might go through quite a few hands before it reaches somebody like me who's then just selling it in a shop. So that's why sometimes the specific details of it sort of get lost in the mix a little bit. But all the wools we've got, they all come from Europe, various countries. So yeah, I'll start talking you through them, and I've tried to kind of group them into sort of different categories or ones that I think would be more suited to different things. So hopefully that kind of helps you make sense of things too. So let me just see where I can start. So the first ones that I'll show you are ones that I think would be really good for making a cardigan or a coatigan. So we've got two that are the same type of fabric, but they're in different colourways. So that's these two here, and they are actually knitted fabric. So when you look closely at the structure of them, you can see that they've got a sort of knitted texture to them. So it means that they're quite stretchy. They're 100% wool, and then on one side it's almost like it's been felted a little bit. So the fibres of the fabric will have just been agitated, and that sort of makes them kind of bond and hold together. But yeah, we've got this one. I wonder what shade we've called this. This is called Navy Marl, but it's quite a dusky colour. It's really nice. It looks a wee bit darker in the camera than it does in real life here. And then this one here, which I think is my favourite. It's called Raspberry. I think it's called, Smoky Raspberry. So I'll hold a little bit out just so that you can kind of see what sort of drape it's got, because it's 100% wool, but it sort of fits into that lighter wool category, and you can see that it's got a lot of drape and movement to it, which is why I think it would be nice to make a cardigan with. So that's those two, and then the other one that I think would be really good for a cardigan is this one here, which is 100% wool. Sorry, my mistake. The last two that I showed you are 81% wool, and then the rest is acrylic. No, 87 wool, 13 acrylic. This one's 100% wool, and it's actually got a kind of ribbed texture to it. So when you look up closely, you can sort of see the lines of the rib, which does mean that it's quite stretchy as well. It's a bit thicker, it's kind of spongier, but would still be super, super cosy for a coatigan or a cardigan. It does still drape a little bit, like you can see that it kind of moves a little bit and kind of cowls when I hang it up a bit like these ones, but it is just a little bit thicker. And because it is 100% wool, honestly, even just as a blanket, it doesn't fray at the edges. You could just like have a bit of this and put it on your lap if you want it to be warm. It's really, really, really lovely, and a nice neutral colour as well. Like if you had a cardigan in navy, you're gonna be able to wear it with loads of stuff. So that's those ones, and then the next ones that I'm gonna show you are these ones, because these are still quite lightweight too, so sort of keep everything a wee bit lighter and then get thicker and thicker. This is a lovely kind of wine, sort of maroony kind of colour. This is felted as well. I'm just trying to have a look. I think this has been knitted too, like looking at the texture on the back, but I think it's been felted a little bit more, so it means that the fibres are just sort of more tighter together. It's got more of a give than a stretch, I would say, but would still be good for a cardigan or like a little blazer, like the Green Line Morris blazer, that kind of garment that's just, it's a bit more of a kind of casual sort of cardigan type blazer, and then just the same one in navy as well. So that's those two, and then these ones over here, I'm going to try not to cause an avalanche behind me. These ones here are all, again, they're kind of lighter weight, but I think these would look really good as like a little dress or even a pair of trousers. You'd have to line them, but that's okay, they'd be extra warm. But they've just got a sort of interesting texture to them. This one here is called Blue Sparkle Wool. It's 40% wool, 40 wool, 60 acrylic, and it's just got a really lovely weave to it. So it's got a bit of black in it, it's got this kind of dusky blue colour, little flecks of kind of cream as well, and then if I pull out a little bit just to show you, you can see it's got nice drape to it. So if you did make a dress or like a little kind of pinafore in this you know, it wouldn't feel too bulky. It would just, I think it would be a nice weight for something like that. And then this one would be the same as well. I love the colours in that one too. I'm just going to pop this down because I don't think it wants to stand up at the moment. This one's 40 viscose, 30 wool, 30 polyester. And it's got, yeah, as I said, I just love the colours in this one. I'll open it out so you can sort of see how it moves about a little bit. It's like a kind of teal, a navy, there's like an oatmeal colour in there, a creamy colour, so it just sort of really nice and kind of different, and you can see that it moves around and it's got a nice drape to it as well. And then the other ones that are a wee bit lighter, so yeah, I think like a nice dress or pinafore would be good for those ones. This one here is a teal wool blend. It's 60 wool, 60 wool, 30 viscose, 10 polyamide, and I really love the colour of this. It's a really lovely sort of dusky kind of teal colour, and it's sort of like thinner as well. You can see that it's kind of draping and moving around quite a bit. It's so soft and fluffy, really, really lovely. And I think that would be nice for a pinafore as well, or a little skirt, or you can make a little blazer with it. So yeah, just a really lovely colour there. I'm going to put this one down too because I don't think it wants to stand up on its end. And then I've got two more lighter ones over here, and then I'll get into the thicker ones. So these ones here are, one of them's cashmere and one of them is wool. Let me just bring these over. So this one is a slate grey, and it's got a kind of sort of marley effect, so it's not like a solid grey colour, it's like a nice texture, and it's quite lightweight. Can you see how that's kind of like moving and draping quite a bit? So again, a dress would be good for that, or a skirt, and it just feels really lovely and soft, and because it's 100% wool, it will be really, really cosy. So yeah, that's just like a nice sort of basic to have, quite a nice classic colour. And then this one is wool and cashmere, so as you can imagine, it's very, very soft, and it's really lightweight as well. So yeah, you can see when I sort of move that up, it's draping really nicely too. It just feels so soft. So they're all the kind of lighter ones, and then the other ones that I've got start to be a little bit thicker. So I'm going to just pop these back so they're out of the way. So yeah, we've got this one here which comes in 4 different colourways, and it's kind of reversible, and that the back just sort of looks like it could be, you know, that could be the fabric, sort of grey, dusky, black colour with blue spots, but actually this side, is beautiful, and it's lovely cornflower blue. So yeah, this also comes in a mustard colour and a red, quite a bright red, and then a tan, I'm just looking at them over there, a tangerine colour too. So this would be good for like an unlined coat, like just quite a sort of loose kind of casual one, because if you then did see the inside of it, it would actually look quite cool because it's just spotty on the inside. Or you could use it as like a contrast as well if you wanted to, the back. So it's 50%, I'm pretty sure it's 50-50. Where's the tag gone for that? I think it's 50% wool, 50% acrylic. And it does, I'll hold it up, it does have a bit of drape to it, but I feel like it's holding its shape a little bit more than some of the others. So yeah, it would be good for coats or like a little skirt as well. You probably could make a dress in it as long as it wasn't too fitted. I don't know if it would maybe feel slightly too bulky as a dress, but yeah, a really nice one, and I just love those colours. It's nice when you get fabrics for outerwear that are, you know, a bit more of a brighter colour. And then this one here, which I've also got in 3 different colours, this has got a really nice texture too as well. It's like a herringbone design. And this one is like a kind of like a sort of dusky, reddy, winey colour, woven with a cream, and it's got little sort of flecks to it as well. It's got a very natural texture. It's got quite a lot of drape to it too. Just bear in mind with this one that the weave is a little bit looser, so it does tend to fray quite a bit more. So you'd have to overlock the seam allowances or bind them if they were going to be exposed, because the weave of the fabric is quite loose, it will just fray a little bit more. So yeah, we've got a navy one of these and also a light pink, which is really nice. But I think this would be good for a coat, or you can make a skirt, or like a kind of pinafore, or little kind of blazer jacket too. Just, yeah, quite versatile really, and it's, yeah, I just really like the texture of that one. And then the last ones that I've got to show you are ones that would be better, they're more like kind of classic coating sort of weights. They're much kind of thicker and heavier and better for excuse me, for an outer garment where the fabric has to sort of hold its shape a little bit more. So, you know, we're talking like the Closet Case Patterns Clear Coat, or the Grain Line Cascade Duffel, which is what I'm making just now. I'll show you what one I'm going to use for that. So yeah, like more like a proper kind of coat pattern. That's what we're talking about for these next ones. So this one here, which is, let me just have a look, because I think this might actually have some black in it as well. I think it does. I think it's blue and black. You know how some fabrics, when you look at them, you can't really decide between the two, but actually the light's quite bright today. I think it's got blue and black in it. But yeah, one side's got quite a kind of fluffy texture. It's if it's been sort of felted a little bit, and then the other side's got more, I think I'm eating some of the fluff. It's got more of a woolen texture to it. This is 100% wool, and it feels quite spongy as well. So this is going to be a super, super warm coat. It would be really, really lovely. So yeah, that is that one. And then these other ones, actually I'll show you this one first. This one's black, and quite often I've been like, let me start again. In the past, I've found that I've not really sold black woolen fabric as much, but the reason I got this one is because it's got this amazing sort of basket weave texture to it. So it's like the threads that have woven the fabric are really quite thick, and each kind of thread is made up of several strands, and it just gives this really amazing texture. So you'll see it better when I show you in the little close-up video, but I'll hold up a bit just so you can kind of see what it looks like. You can see it's like holding its shape and structure a little bit more. Again, because it's like a looser weave, the edges are going to fray, so just bear that in mind. You want to overlock them or sort of stabilize them somehow when you come to make a garment with it. But for a black, I just thought it was really interesting, because sometimes a black can just be a flat black woolen fabric can just be a bit too much, but that one's just really, really lovely texture. And then the last ones that I've got to show you are so this is the one that I'm using to make my Cascade Duffel Coat. So I've got blog posts coming up towards the end of the month with that, so you sort of see that in more detail, but I'll show you the fabric just now anyway. So it's 80% wool and it's 20% cashmere. And the fabric is like, it's 2 layers of fabric together, and then they've been kind of like sort of stitched together. I was going to say bonded, but bonded makes me think of glue. There's no glue involved. It is just kind of like sewn or somehow stitched together. But it means it's kind of double faced, so it just feels really sturdy. So if I hold it up, you'll kind of see what I mean. Like, you can see that it's holding its shape quite a bit. And then you can see in this close-up here that if I try to sort of pull the 2 layers apart, you can start to see you can see how it is like 2 together. This is a really lovely, it's like one of those colours that's hard to describe. It's kind of like a minky colour. We've called it steel grey, but some lights it kind of looks more purpley, some lights it looks more grey. It's quite a warm colour despite it being quite dark. But yeah, I really, really like it. And yeah, it's been lovely to work with. It presses really well, especially when you get the clapper out and you use the clapper to press the seams. Very satisfying. And then we've also got the same fabric but in a navy, so it's just like classic navy colour. And then we've also got it as well in this sort of olive green colour, but this one's just a little bit lighter in weight, so it's still double faced, it's still like 2 layers together. But if I hold a bit of this up, you can see that it just sort of droops a little bit more. So if you were making a coat out of this one, you'd maybe want to stabilise it a bit more. So I've made a coat before and interfaced the whole thing before I cut it out. That was when I did my clear coat, and I've done videos and blog posts on that before. That was a couple of years ago. So yeah, it's because it's got the cashmere in it, it's really lovely and soft, but it does just have a little bit more kind of movement to it compared to the other ones, just a little bit lighter. So that is that one, and then I think I have shown you everything. So of course, as always, all of these fabrics, they're in the Just Arrived section, but I'll also do a blog post which sort of pulls them all together, and then it just means that if you're watching this video in a few weeks or a month's time or whatever, and the fabrics have left the Just Arrived section, then you can look at the blog post, and that sort of just brings them all together, and you have links to them all there as well. And of course, if you've got any questions, just let me know. Just leave me a comment below, or if you're watching on the blog, you can leave a comment on the blog, or you can contact me on Instagram quite a lot as well. So I hope you like that, and it's given you some inspiration for some autumnal projects, or maybe sort of given you a spark or planted a seed that you might want to get your teeth into something like a coat project. And yeah, as I said, I'll have blog posts coming up soon on my Cascade duffel coat. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. Remember and hit subscribe if you haven't already, just so you don't miss my next video. And I'll see you next time. Thanks guys, bye.